Hello, everybody. This is Vinnieart. I'm the creator of City of Venus, co-creator of Through the Woods, which is getting a re-release very, very soon. Co-creator on The Ghostly Manor on Howling Hill. I also released a couple art books. You guys know that. I've also been a lead designer for McFarlane Toys. I'm a concept artist. I've done work all over the place. But tonight we have a really cool special guest. We got Klaus. We're going to be talking about his project, Monster MD. Hey, Vaughn, how we doing?
Hey, Vinny. Oh, it's good to see you, man. I really appreciate you having me on. I'm doing great, man. It's raining outside. I'm inside writing comics. Life is good.
That's how it's got to be. I've been doing pretty much the same thing today.
That's right, man. That's the way to do it. How's your project coming? You got that awesome new Through the Woods.
Yeah, man. That book is pretty much ready to go. I've been wanting to launch this campaign since before December, but everyone was urging me not to. So I think I'm gonna get a nice release happening, maybe like the last week of January. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I think people are well, they've been hounding me since they've been seeing my other campaigns, right? They're like, yeah, what's this Through the Woods? We keep checking out your other stuff. I'm like, oh, well, it's coming back.
It's awesome.
Yeah, the collected edition is rearing to go. But awesome. Tonight we're going to be talking about you first, and your amazing campaign. So let me share screen on that. Oh, tonight I actually remember to hit the audio button too.
There you go. There you go. It's a good start. All right. Yeah, man. It's been quite a ride. And I'm exhausted, but I loved every second of it.
Dude, I believe it, man. I am itching to get my hands on this book.
It is definitely something special, man. It's amazing. We put together one of the better teams in indie comics and put out a really cool story that people actually dig. My goal with this was like, how do I make a doctor cool and full of adventures and craziness? So yeah, man, put him in the world of monsters. See if he survives.
This is totally up my alley. I've been a fan of Universal Monsters, all kinds of crazy stuff, horror, ghost. I'm into all of it. So when I saw this campaign, I'm like, yeah, I am getting this.
Are you an 80s guy like me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Wasn't that an amazing time? I mean, how many iconic horror movie characters were born just in the 80s alone?
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah. As a kid, I remember the first time I saw Freddy. That he's one of the ones who scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Just the whole burnt face thing. You remember how dark the original was?
Oh yeah, man. They did a great job. That's a great movie. And when you're a kid back then, you didn't see Freddy. You heard about Freddy, and that's what made him scary, because it was just a movie, but it felt like you were being told about like a real deal boogeyman who comes and kills you in your sleep. I mean, it was just an awesome concept. For sure. And then so I was actually, I remember being a little scared to see it as a kid in the 80s too.
Yeah, dude, it's because it's the suspense, right? It's the build up on that kind of stuff. Because it's one thing that drives me crazy about now that everyone. It's their attention spans are so short, so they try to give them everything. You know, the trailers have the entire movie in it. They give big reveals. There's no need for that shit. Build the suspense. You know.
Yeah. Sometimes what you don't see lets your imagination blow up, and it makes things so much cooler in your head. I mean, that's why. We were just talking about Star Wars. I was talking with RT Bear on his channel about story. We talked a lot about Star Wars, and one of the things I loved about the Jedi was they had this aura of mystery to them, and you didn't know about them. You knew they were talented, that they could wield this magical force, and they could, and that they were badass lightsaber. Like warrior monks, if you will. That was all I needed. I didn't need the prequels to show me all the Jedi sitting on councils and being dickheads or whatever. I wanted the mystery to remain, Who cares how, keep it dark and mysterious. And for Monster MD, I have shown a lot of the book, but I've made a conscious effort to not show you the big reveals. So when you read, it's going to hopefully blow that mind.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Yeah, I've been trying to do that with, City of Venus. I haven't showed the main baddies yet, but it's kind of the same thing. Like I'm holding them back because I think there's so many other interesting and cool characters there too that'll kind of lead fans into the story as the next issues come out. But yeah,
Nice.
dude. Yeah, I think we're of the same kind of mindset when it comes to storytelling for sure.
Yeah. I mean, at least in this context, because my next book it's gonna move more into the superhero realm, which I've never really done before, but doing my take on it has been so much fun that I think people would really dig the book. But in terms of Monster MD, I mean, it's not your typical hero. He's more run down. He's more beat up. He's like barely surviving on ramen noodles, living in his truck by the river. He's got, his invisible surgical assistant Heidi. They kind of have a little bit of a attraction, but of course, they haven't acted on that. But other than that, he's kind of a loner, and who kind of helps out the monsters, and he's trying to find his place in this weird world where he doesn't really belong with the human world, and he doesn't really belong with the monster one quite yet. So this story is about finding his place too. So.
Dude, yeah, no, absolutely. I like that. That you gotta give that kind of that everyman feel to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if characters like too powerful off the bat, I think you lose an audience. So I like the way that you have it set up, and he's kind of an outcast as well. I mean,
definitely a rundown underdog type hero has been I think that's a lot of people's favorites, right? So
totally.
I'm doing it here. And I was I found a book from Image that was called Witch Doctor, where it was about a doctor. He wasn't necessarily the doctor to the monsters per se, but he could work on monsters, and he was much more upper class and wearing like a 3-piece suit, and he owned Excalibur, and he owned the Holy Grail. And I'm like, dude, my guy like barely even owns like a DVD player. He's just trying to hold it together, I like that way more scruffy and rumble tumble than like prissy little of course,
absolutely, man, dude. Because I'm the same way. I grew up on Spider-Man, so like Peter Parker was always down on his luck. He was always broke, He had to get supplies to make his web fluid and other cool shit. But dude, it's the same kind of deal of I think people enjoy seeing those stories and just seeing like that, like the little man overcome shit, But and then using his brain and his skills.
Exactly. That's what I like to say. He uses his wits and his mitts. So sometimes, he can throw down and punch a guy. I mean, he's punching a werewolf on page 3, but other times, Wyatt has to use his doctor knowledge and skills to get out of really nasty situations. So that's part of the fun of Monster MD. That's just what I like out of heroes.
Oh, totally, man.
Gotta be able to use that brain.
Use your brain, use the skills. And like in Breaking Bad, every time he was in a messed up situation, he used science to get out of it.
Yeah, that was great too.
That's what I mean. It's like that kind of brilliance to it. It's good shit. I like it, dude. The artwork on this is so badass too.
Whoo, Marco, my favorite, just killing it.
They are crushing it.
He draws monsters a lot, and I have a feeling he just had so much fun with this book, and it just shows in his work. We had a blast on this.
Dude, every page is just gorgeous.
Yeah, that's part of the things I'm excited about is every page looks so good, and yet we're going to give you a 128-page book. I mean, people are going to have a lot of content to enjoy, and that makes me happy because I wanted to give everybody a lot.
For sure, man. Dude, as a backer, that makes me extremely happy.
Yeah, and it's a self-contained story too, so you're not going to get a cliffhanger where you're waiting another year for another book, you know what I mean?
Right.
You can reread it again, and it's got the cool Heidi bonus story because we met our stretch goal. So everyone who gets this is going to get to see Heidi before the invisibility, which I thought about just keeping her invisible forever and just making you wonder, But no, man, let's just have fun and show her. I could still make her cool and compelling without, while revealing like her previous life.
That's awesome.
Because
I'm sorry.
Well, it's cool because the backstories of characters, how you become a monster too. I got to experiment with something more tragic and dramatic instead of just like the fun of Monster MD. I mean, Monster MD has its somber moments and it's scary, messed up, very serious moments. But with Heidi's story, I wanted to show a side to the Monster MD mythos, if you will, that becoming a monster is no like picnic. It's a disaster that ruins your life and changes everything. So Heidi's story, while Heidi's bubbly and cute and just amazing, like you get to see the tragedy behind her, which I hope really enhances her character for people.
Oh, hell
makes them love her more.
I think that's the beauty of it too, because like all the Universal monsters, those movies are so amazing, but it was the same thing. They were all very tragic stories, you know, especially like the Wolfman comes to mind right away as well. You know, that he was tormented. He knew it was going to happen, you know, and he wanted to be tied up so he wouldn't hurt anyone. Yeah. I mean, it's
a curse.
Yeah,
it's a freaking curse.
Exactly.
Man. Yeah, it's great.
That's the cool thing about it.
I'm going to remain true to that for sure. But there's just, this book's hilarious. I mean, I read through it and I'm laughing. Yeah. People are, they've read the first chapter. They said the jokes hit for them. They're liking it. But, man. Yeah, man. It's going to get better.
I totally dug that. Yeah. I mean, where was it? There was the poop jar. Did I miss it?
Yeah. Yeah. You went up past it. Yeah.
Oh, there it was.
Yeah, that was just like when you work in an office with people, you label things with dumb names all the time. That's what I do at my office. Like we label dumb everything. Like we call our what is it? We call our printer Bob Marley because he's always jamming. You know, like stupid things like that. It's dumb. Yeah. So like, of course, they're gonna call the fertilizer jar the poop jar.
Yeah,
like of course, like they have to. Like I would, you know.
Yeah.
So, and it just makes it more interesting. Everything you do as a creator when you're making this stuff, think about how you can present it in a way that enhances the world and that these characters live in, so people can get into it, you know. And so, poop jar, get into it.
You gotta say hello to the chat too. El Gargoyle, what's up, buddy? Peter's here.
Man?
James Hayes, he's always dropping mad links. Awesome guy. Blue popped up. That's cool. Thanks, guys, for showing up. Eric popped up earlier. He might be popping up as a guest as well, so stay tuned.
Hell yeah.
He's a great guy. Everybody knows that. But, yeah, man, so I dropped a link to a couple of other people, so we might get some surprises in here. Fingers crossed. But either way, we're going to have fun tonight, I think. I think we're having a good time as it is. I mean, we're going over this awesome project. Dude, and who's your colorist again?
Tanya Wicker.
Wow, she's been doing amazing stuff.
Dude, my Russian bot. No,
dude, I love it, man. I love it.
She's something else, you know. And what I like about her is she's different than other colorists in her choices, and yet they work so well that a lot of other artists see this and go, "Oh my god, I love that!" Like they love what she's doing.
Yeah.
She is like an underrated, amazing colorist. So I really lucked out with her. And when you combine her with Marco, you get magic, as you can see.
Man.
So,
yeah, dude.
She's working so hard on this book too. I mean, this is a monster of a book, and her coloring is such a beautiful like style that requires a lot of detail and thought. So yeah, man, she's killing it
for sure.
Shay, what's up?
What up, girl? We got not Joe Frago. He's here as well.
Oh, he's great.
He's awesome. Yeah. He told me about Rob Mort. What was that? A couple weeks ago. And he's like, "Yeah, you should have him on," or And I'm like, I reached out to him. I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "When do you want to do it?" I'm like, "I'm free if you're free right now." He's like, "Fuck yeah, brother, let's do this." So I just pulled him on. Great guy. He came on again he was on last night.
He's awesome.
Oh, totally, man. I like helping him out. He's a great dude, and his project's fantastic as well.
His project is fantastic. I love the art. I love the characters. I love everything about it. It should be blowing up way more than it is. But you know what? Like he's just kind of saying, "Hey guys, I'm here," and then in the future we can get him more success. You know?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm hoping to, because that's the one thing he said. He knows that a lot of times it's like you're selling yourself usually with your first campaign. Some of them are runaway hits. Others you really have to start to build up, like that rapport with the fans as well. Trust me, I know how it went. The first go around, on Through the Woods, like I had a completed series. They were floppies, 3 books in one shot, and people were still kind of on the fence because they didn't know who I was. They didn't know if I was for real, if I was masquerading as whatever. You know how crazy Comics Geek gets sometimes. But when they saw who I was and how fast I fulfill, and that I'm, I say what I mean. I don't play games. So yeah, they like the straight shooter, I think, in me.
Yeah.
My other campaigns were doing
I think
well.
so. That goes a long way, man, to build that customer confidence every time.
Absolutely. Because I have no qualms in talking about, like, I'll talk shit about people who rip me off or screw me over in the industry. Got no problem doing that. But just to pick a fight out of nowhere, I don't have time for it. I rather I rather work and get these books out there to people.
Hell yeah. Like sometimes I get pissed, man, and then I go, wait a second, what am I pissed about? There's nothing to be mad. Like I'm just gonna take that and work on my book. And that's when I have fun. Exactly. I go right back to having fun again. Just like it's a good policy to know when to pick your battles and to just get back to work on your books. I mean, that's where it's at. That's what's going to matter in the long run. If they make a Comicscape movie, I always remind myself, like, they're not going to document stupid Twitter nonsense and fights. They're going to talk about the books you made.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because it's the numbers, it's the cool projects, it's the new IPs. That's what people are going to be latching on to, not some of the silly drama or, the name calling or whatnot. To me, all that shit is just, I think it was put in place by the other side anyway, because they want to keep a fight going so that their numbers go up, right? They want to build themselves. And what's the best way of doing it? Going after the people who are making like the biggest waves right now in comics.
That's a very unhealthy barnacle leech style mentality. That's not going to build you very far, though. Yeah. If you took all that passion and energy you have for raging against people and put it into your books, you could have some good stuff there, man. Dude,
that's what I'm always preaching, man. Don't drop the negative bullshit and just be positive. Put that into your work, and you're going to get amazing stuff out there. I mean, I had 4 campaigns, a total of 7 books, and like 7 or 8 months. That's insane. Wow.
Yeah, that's some work, man. Well done.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Thank you. But it's that I'm putting my focus where it has to be, not into the nonsense.
Hell yeah.
Obviously I'm going to be cutting back now because I'm trying to build the channel. I'm trying to get out there a little bit more, getting more in touch with the fans. But the projects I am doing, they are like mind blowing at the moment. Because as I'm going to be pushing the new campaign, I'm working on a pirate book that is just every page I'm pouring my heart and soul into, and it's not going to be like Pirates of the Caribbean. This is going to be more gritty, more less fantastical, let's say.
Yeah, more real and scurvy. A lot more scurvy going around.
Yeah, well, you're going to have the betrayal in there. You're going to see beautiful locations, but then the violence is going to be over the top.
Hell yeah. That's what I like to hear, man. Totally. I love violent comic books. I love them. They're fun. They're like that's why in Monster MD, like it might be funny and kind of cute sometimes, but like when there's a fight, the blood flies in this comic book, man. Dude, like because I grew up with those Dark Avenger heroes were my favorite. That was my flavor, if you will, like Wolverine and Punisher and the original Ninja Turtles, where they're just blood is just bleh. Like it was to me that was the coolest thing. Like how could I not do that in my books? And I'm doing a horror book too, so come on, man. Like blood is one of your characters as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's a must. Like I think the first horror movie, like when I was a kid, that I was really starting getting into horror was the Evil Dead movies. As soon as I saw that. My cousin's like, you got to check this out. I'm like, what? This thing is just so good. I'm like, what? What is it? We put it on. I was like, holy shit. It was hilarious. It was gory. It had a cool story. It was twisted. And most of it was like centered with pretty much one character.
I got Ash Williams a figure for Christmas this year. A really detailed one. It's awesome.
Oh, no shit.
Sweet. Yeah. I love Evil Dead. I actually went to see Evil Dead the musical. Have you ever seen one of those?
I heard it was good. I heard it was damn good.
They give you raincoats for the first like 3 or 4 rows of people because you're going to get pelted with blood. And this one chick wore all white, dude, and got front row center. So she could just get coated in that Evil Dead loving. It was amazing.
Holy shit. It was like a Gallagher show.
Yeah, minus the watermelons. Yeah, it was just human blood just shooting out of the stage. It was amazing. I loved it.
Dude, I love it.
I'm always on the lookout to see if it'll come through my town again, you know?
That's killer, man. Yeah, I met Bruce Campbell a while back. Dude, that guy, he's awesome. He's really cool.
He is.
I wish I had more
That's so
time
cool.
I wish I had more time to chat with him. His door was, I mean, his line was out the door, and like I'd run up from where my table was to say hello to him. He saw my art. He was like, because I did kind of like a cartoony version of him, and then I gave him like one of my other prints. Because a lot of people, they just want shit signed, and then they try to flip it or whatever. But I actually gave him gifts, so he stopped. He was like, "Who did this? This is amazing." So like he called him over, and he's like, "Dude, I don't know how you did this, man. This artwork is beautiful." Did you want anything? I'm like, "No, man. It's if I get a photo, that'd be cool. But other than that, I mean, no big deal."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, absolutely." He's like, "That line will probably kill you, but let's do it."
He's great.
Yeah, and then like a family thing came up, so the following day I didn't show up, and they said he came to my table looking for me. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, the Brucey Bruce.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy.
My first encounter with horror in the 80s was I snuck a peek at American Werewolf in London. And when my parents went around, that was one of the ones that they said you cannot watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shay, you better get your scurvy on, girl.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah,
get some blood.
Dude, her Heidi was awesome.
Oh God, that's like my favorite thing ever,
amazing.
man. Like I still like check out the pic from that every now and then.
Yeah, dude, that was so cool. Man,
it's like, perfect.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
But that was what was cool about 80s horror, man. Like the more naughty ones with a little more sex or violence were forbidden. And so I would watch them. And now that I think about it, American Werewolf in London was one of the first real deal horrors to bring comedy into the mix.
Oh, yeah.
While still keeping it horror.
Oh, totally.
So, because you have things like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which is more comedy than horror. And then you have Young Frankenstein, another great one. My dad raised me on all those. My parents and I would, when I was little, would paint the Universal Monster models. I still have some of them.
Oh, wow.
On my shelf here. Yeah.
That's
I got the Wolfman and the Mummy over here. And and Elvira popped up in the 80s too. And all of these were huge influences on making Monster MD because I've just loved that for way too long. That perfect mix.
Like you said, man, we're 80s kids, and everything you said, I was 100% on board with you, man.
Yeah.
Dude, because
you get it.
Yeah, they used to air all that stuff all the time, even like those old classics like Abbott and Costello Meet, Frankenstein or the Wolfman. Dude, I mean,
yeah.
And then Elvira. Oh, God bless her.
I love her. I'm a lifetime fan.
Yeah, man. I met her not too long ago as well. She's still pretty damn amazing. I was surprised because she does like a day in costume, a day out of costume. In costume, it's like she's ready just to she just walked off the set. I'm like,
she's amazing.
Wow. Oh my God. Yeah.
I was dating this chick, and usually every chick I've ever dated thought Elvira was just awesome by default, right? And I dated one who was like, who is that? I don't like her. And I was just like, I don't know if we can have this relationship anymore, to be honest.
It's like one more quickie and then out the door.
That's right. I'll just go back to watching my Elvira or whatever. But yeah, it was a great time in the 80s. It was that energy and the fun, and the horror movies were amazing and violent and over the top. And I think that helped birth people like you and me, or creators like you and I, who appreciate it and then use elements of it in our work. And I think it makes for some really cool stuff, man. Monster MD definitely owes a debt to that.
Yeah. Dude, I got to say that too, man. I mean, well, you have my book. You saw City of Venus. I mean, you can definitely tell I'm into zombies and other monsters and stuff too. I mean, that book has got a couple more big surprises. Well, it's got a shit ton of surprises. It's going to happen. But for that issue was like the, introduction into the world pretty much. It's going to keep ramping up. But so everyone who's listening and everyone who backed the book, all my books from here on out are going to be a minimum of like 40 to 50 pages. So I just want everyone to know that. I am cranking out the work. But yeah, you're going to get a lot more story, a lot more action, beautiful artwork. So
I can't wait.
Oh, dude, Dude, I'm itching to get more of these projects out there, man. You have no clue.
I'm working on my next project almost nonstop lately, and I'm on page like 122, and I still have all these scenes to finish up on it. Wow. And so it's another huge big boy book about to happen, but self-contained story. Don't have to wait for the next issue, but it does take a long time to make too, and it costs a lot. So that's just my style that I've been, and it worked with Monster MD. So I'm gonna keep trying to, and I like having a full meal, when I sit down. So it's like, that's how I've been approaching my books lately. Not that there's anything wrong with doing issues, to keep people going along, because you could churn those out more cheaply and faster. So it's all about finding that balance, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it depends what story you're telling. Cause like one of the many projects I have in the works, there's another one I'm doing with my brother that it's a one shot. So it's a contained story. It's something different from everything else we've been working on. Even Through the Woods that I'm going to be releasing the collector's edition next month. That's a contained story. It's all 3 issues put together.
Ooh, I want that.
Oh yeah, dude. Trust me, once you start seeing more of the pages, they're mouth watering. You're like, oh, this looks good.
Dude, that's a day one back for me. I'm not just saying that because I'm on your show. Like, it's because of the book itself. Like,
dude, I'm gonna be
snagging that. I'm gonna be snagging the hell out of that book.
Oh yeah,
because it's got too much of the things I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And it's crazy too, because like that story, I jumped around with it too. So we came up with the characters together. I'll just pull it up real quick anyway. Like, we came up with the characters together for this. And like we played around with the story, and then when I was working in New York, I decided to sit down and I wrote the first draft of it, and like it ended. It was like a straight up horror book. The last page was like a bloodbath, and my brother's like, he read it. He's like, this is really good. He goes, but what if he was just hear me out, and he's like, what if we do a ghost story instead? That way we get a little bit more, because if it's too over the top, like the younger audience, like parents might not let them buy it, and I know where he was coming from. I'm like, yeah, all right. So I let him do another draft of it. I liked it. We got rid of one of the characters. We changed the ending, and then I said, yeah, go for issues 2 and 3. You want to write it, write it. We bounced ideas back and forth, and we came up with this. I think a really, really great tale.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a really good collaboration, man. That stuff can not work out more than it works out. That's cool. It's rare.
Right. Oh, and trust me, man, we butted heads a lot since we're brothers anyway.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
dude! The hollering matches were just, they were hilarious.
It's our creative process.
Yeah.
No, that's how Oasis does it, right? Those 2 guys hate each other.
That's like, no, we need this in the book. No. It has to change. It has to look like that. No. Yeah. It was a lot of shit like that, but more the F-bombs were everywhere.
Hell yeah. That's brotherly love right there.
But you know what? We're both super proud of this book.
It looks so cool.
Yeah, dude. And the test copy, we were both like, our jaws hit the floor, because I'm using the same printer that I did City of Venus with in my second art book. To see their quality in a trade paperback, it's like, give me more of that, please.
Yeah. Hells yeah.
Here's a better shot of the actual cover.
So, beautiful women's.
Yeah, it's brand new cover. This one's going to be 96 pages. So I added like the layouts and some sketches from the book. It's like a little section there, and then I have a cover gallery as well, and like a few pinups that I had put from the original book. So yeah, it's it has a little bit of everything in it.
Yeah, this is cool. This is an opus. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, I'm thrilled. I can't wait. I mean, in this book, there's so much cool shit happening. Our main character, to save the day in the beginning, one of his big intros, he literally fights a bear. There's a moment he drop kicks a bear in the face.
Yes.
So like, you got to go all out, right? I had to show like the most manliest man you could imagine. One of my backers from the first go around, he was like, yeah, dude. He goes, Jack Lombardo, the big dude. He's like, he has to be the most manly character in all of comics at the moment.
It's awesome.
But yeah, it's going to be a cool story, and yeah, it takes place in present day and 100 years in the past. So and then like you kind of see how it all kind of it comes together, like by the
nice.
Yeah, by like the last page of issue 1, you know, and I think it has a nice little build up. You know, there's a very tragic story in there, but I think it's very gratifying too when you get to the end. So like the last issue in the story, I got to bring horror back into it. There's I think some bloody or some gory stuff that definitely happens.
Hey, I love that.
You know.
All right, and yeah, I'm actually writing a script right now that that tells the story, and the plot keeps driving, but as the story continues at different points, we flash back to to part of a flashback that made the main story happen. And we're kind of, as we go, we're doing flashbacks that are kind of like revealing why this is happening more and more, you know, like the pieces are coming together. So it's fun to use if you use flashback right, it can be very effective and kind of cool for your story.
Yeah, because even with this one, we have a couple of flashback scenes, and you can see it like even on this bottom one, like she's exploring the property that she inherited, and she notices like this cabin in the back. So she goes to push in, and as we push in, I go into sepia. So like there's certain scenes where I'll have the flashbacks like that, and then there are other moments where I actually I experimented on the towards the like the main pivotal part of the first issue, where I go from sepia and I slowly go into color. So I kind of like I'm bringing the reader there, like they're looking at it like it's the past, and then they're kind of like pulled into like we're there watching at the moment, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I think it was pulled off pretty well from what fans have told me. They really enjoyed the hell out of it. So yeah, I'm stoked on that. And then like in issue 2, I had another interesting flashback because it was like a cold kind of winter scene. So instead of doing sepia, I did black and white with some splashes of color. Well,
not bad at all.
Yeah, so
my flashbacks, I was making sure they're all on a page turn. I don't know if we'll do something with the color or not. I mean, they take place in World War II for this one book, so we'll see. We might do something that kind of differentiate, but I kind of like the idea of just letting the page turn be like, boom, you're in this world now. You know, the colors are the same. They're just, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, man. And that's the beauty of it. We get to play around. We get to mess around with what we want. You know, we don't have to answer really to anyone, but we could like hear out friends and stuff. Obviously, I think we've all been doing that in Comicsgate. You know, because I think it's the best way of doing it. Especially it's other creators you respect, people you became friends with. So it's like, yeah, man, what do you think of this? How's this story? And like, oh yeah, or tweak that, and you know, it'd be cool if you kind of added this in there, and you know, I think we have everyone has like a good handle on what we're doing. You know, and we're all out to help one another, so that's a cool thing.
Oh yeah, that's part of the fun. Trying to help everyone succeed in their own way and build something awesome. You know, live their dreams, all that great stuff.
Oh yeah. I know Rob's around too, dude. If you want a link, I'll drop you one too. He only has I think like 30-something hours left on his campaign.
Oh yeah, we gotta get him up there, man. Get people to see this. I'm surprised, man. Like it's a very Monster MD-esque campaign that he's running. So
yeah.
I'd love to see him blow up and do well. But it's only issue 1 or 2 or something like that for his book. So he's got a long road ahead, and I'm sure he'll do even better next time. So.
Oh yeah, man. I got no doubt. I backed it too yesterday. I thought I backed it earlier, and like when we were done, I'm like, no, I'm gonna double check. I don't remember.
Yeah, there's some I'm like, I thought I backed that. Yeah, I've like backed 50 books at this point.
Yeah, man.
It's like you get lost with like what you backed.
Yeah. Obviously, we're juggling so much shit too, right? So it's when I do back a project, I'll usually back a couple in a row.
Yeah, so, yeah. That's awesome.
So I'm kind of all over the place, but yeah, I try to keep a look on what I did back though.
Yeah, Monster MD though it's been being developed for such a long time, man. I think the concept came up in 2009 for me, and I wrote it in my as a note, and I was going to make it a cute little Pixar family movie where, you know, like you know, a human works on the monsters and he discovers his humanity along the way, or some, you know, it was going to be Pixar. So, and then later, I think I had a nightmare about a guy trying to like save a werewolf and pull bullets out of it while it was strapped to a table, snap it at him, trying to bite him. And I was like, that was too cool. Like, that's what Monster MD should be.
Yeah.
It should be my flavor of the type of stuff I like, where it's more for adults. It's bloody, it's funny, it's entertaining as hell. You know, let's make this. Right. So yeah, I started the script. I had so much fun writing the script that and it was more of a short film back then. It was one of those things where you write it just to write it, for the fun, for the joy of it. Which creating for the joy of it is a powerful thing. People, like, it really does make a difference.
Absolutely.
And so I knew it would never be made into a short film, but it didn't stop me from enjoying making it. And then I was like, dude, this needs to be a comic. So that's when I started work with this other artist who was not Marco on another version of Monster MD that was more grimy, that went online for free back in like 2016, 2015, 2016.
I think I remember you telling me about that a while ago.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I moved on from that, and the artist kind of screwed me over in the end. So I was like, this story's special, these characters mean a lot, but do I start over from page one and pay another artist to do this? But I knew when I had Marco that it would be stupid of me to pass on doing Monster MD. Like, he's too good, and he gets it better than any other artist I've worked with. So yeah, man, I'm glad I went back and made it happen again for this campaign. I mean, it came out great.
And that's what I got to say, too, about the appeal to it. Like you said, you didn't want to do necessarily a kid book anymore, but I got to say, it is very kid-friendly with the way that he draws. I know some of like the subject matter obviously is going to be more grotesque and more out there, but I think that slightly kind of cartoon style, it does complement this story a lot. Like, there's a good balance. See, like, if I were to do something like this, I mean, I think, like, with the level of detail I'd put in, I try to put a lot of realism. It might be too over the top. You know what I mean? Like, to have an artist like Marco, I mean, you really, there's a perfect balance right there. That's for sure. Yeah,
you're right, man. Like, if some other artist did this and turned it into something more hyper realistic, we might miss out on some of the jokes and some of the character energy and the hilarity of this little world they live in. Yeah, for sure. Marco, thank God Marco doesn't just do cartoony. He knows how to do the horror and creep you the hell out too. That's part of his magic, his talent.
Man. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and his monsters, just they're incredible. They are so damn good. Like I said, but
it's true.
I think we were all on Ethan's stream a couple of times. I was like, yeah, I'm backing this like immediately.
Yeah. Well, one of the cool things is, like, I started realizing as I started working with him that he puts a little more detail into the monsters. Other stuff will have the stylized cartoonishness, which looks great. But then when he draws a monster, you get this extra love. And I was like, I need to put more monsters into this book. So he'll draw all these epic, like, I don't want to miss out, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I tried to think of these, like, for instance, there's a kind of an 80s montage scene where there's like totally there's synthesizer music playing over it when you read it in the book. And he's like, I'm shoving so many monsters in there that that it wasn't even funny. It was just like I made it as monstery as I could. Sometimes there's crowds of monsters standing there in some shots. So he did a great job.
Oh yeah. It must have drove him crazy, but I'm sure he had a ton of fun too doing it.
Yeah, because
I know some big scenes, they're a lot to do, but they're very gratifying when you finish them. And yeah, if you got like every monster under the sun, that had to be a blast.
Yeah, for considering how often he draws monsters he also does work for Action Labs. So he draws like Vamp Blade and Zombie Tramp. What is she called? I forgot.
Yeah.
Zombie Tramp. And he does. Yeah. He draws this stuff a lot. I just hope to have cool ideas for the monsters too that make it more exciting and kind of cool for him. You know, so he doesn't feel like he's just drawing more of the same. And I feel like when you compare my book to Action Labs, there is a noticeable difference.
I've seen their booth at one of these conventions, and it's weird. It's either straight up adult or straight up kids. There's no kind of like middle ground with them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Because again, like I didn't know much about them, and then one of the guys from Diamond brought me over, and like I was just chatting with them, and like they had cool projects, but it was one or the other. It was extremely adult or extremely kid, so kind of weird.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think you have more of a middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like Monster MD, I'm definitely going for the middle ground to where like a teenager can pick this up and be like, hell yeah.
Brother.
Like that's where they gets at, man.
Yeah, I totally believe you nailed it. Absolutely, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, been working on it long enough too. So I mean, I've had a lot of time to figure this out, refine it to death, and get it in your hands. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even with Through the Woods, I still tweaked a couple of things. Made some slight edits, or even played with lettering just to fix some little elements. So I'm like, yeah, this is like the definitive edition finally of this story. So like again, super excited about that. And yeah, man, once you get those copies in your hand, you're doing cartwheels. So
really, I can't wait. I've still got time to wait because we're still coloring, of course, but we've got finished line work and nearly finished lettering, so we're doing well. Good to go on that.
Yeah. So when are you kind of expecting like to get them out?
We still got some months ahead to finish those colors and then put everything together. So I'm thinking like early 2020.
Beautiful.
You know? Like, or it might be a few months in the 2020, but it still will be early, early 2020. So we'll see what we can do, man. We'll see what we can do. It's a huge book. And then I still have to letter and finish the crossover comic. So that's another 20 pages.
Oh yeah.
Of Shino versus Monster MD. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be great. Wow.
That book was way too fun to write, man. Like I wrote that thing really fast and all my ideas for it worked. I didn't have to like redo anything or restructure really.
Oh, beautiful.
Everything just flowed well into a nice 20-page little story. And but the story itself is bigger than 20 pages, I gotta say. So expect more in the future to finish it,
Wow.
It might be another 2 issues in length, 2 or 3 to finish this epic that I've started here. So
wait, and a quick question, like how's that gonna work? Are you gonna be like, when that's finished, then you're gonna send it out separately, or is it gonna be shipping with either of the books at the same time?
I'm working towards shipping at the same time for everyone. I want them to have that bonus book in their order.
Gotcha.
So
nice. Man, yeah.
Gotta do it.
There's just a lot of amazing stuff. Yeah. So anyone who doesn't know, who's listening, if you back this project or Shinobi Sasquatch, you're gonna get a bonus book with both of their characters. This cool story that Vaughn wrote as a bonus gift. So even more of a incentive, I think, to pick up this amazing project.
Yeah, man. It's been. This is my first effort, and it had to be as big as I can make it and as fun as I can make it. So I'm really glad everyone responded so well to it, because I mean, this is just a cool concept too. I mean, it's simple, guys, doctor to the monsters, but then my challenge was, how do I make this cooler? Because back when I came up with this, the fad was, and maybe still is, I don't know, is monster hunters. Everybody's a freaking monster hunter walking in the shadows and katanas, I loved the Blade movies. I thought those were really fun. So like everybody, and I think a lot of writers have an idea for their monster hunter story or whatever, and that's totally cool. I've made comics with that in it, but I wanted to make him Dr. Wyatt Black cooler than a monster hunter type, even though he's doing the opposite. He's healing them. How do I make him cool and go on crazy adventures, as part of the fun is sometimes this is what I like to do as a writer, is give myself a challenge to make, how do I make this cooler than anything out there, even though he's just a doctor character,
Exactly. I mean, I've been doing that with some of my projects as well. Like, I purposely put a lot of my characters in really messed up situations just to see how I could figure out how to get them out of it.
Yeah.
It's that. That's why most of my books they do have these crazy cliffhangers. Well, for a fact, at least one of them.
Yes.
But even the part one that I'm working on, I did something crazy with this one that I'm super excited and proud of. But I'm kind of showing it in the beginning. Like the first page is going to be the character in peril, and then like it's going to jump back like a couple of weeks earlier, and then we see how our character got into that position.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of structure can be cool.
Yeah.
I when I wrote Heidi's backstory, we're in the present, and Wyatt has been like almost mortally wounded from some patient that went berserk, and Heidi had to kill the patient, or as she puts it, I think she says, "We have to euthanize you with extreme prejudice," or something fun like that.
I love it.
She kills the patient and goes to Wyatt, and he's dying, and she's like, "Wyatt, wake up. And then we turn the page, and then we're in the past. We're in Heidi's past, and we're going to see how she got to where she was with Wyatt and being invisible and everything. And then when we end the story, it's going to carry on from that first page. Yeah. So it's like the sandwich effect of, it works. It's a good structure, man. You see it in TV all the time. And if you do it well, it can, it's very pleasing.
Oh, for sure, man. And that's the beauty of it, man. I love that kind of stuff. Like I said, man, I'm itching. As soon as you get your first copies, hook up your friend Vinny over here.
Dude, I have Heidi smoking a lot in her backstory too, because when you first see her in the book, she's smoking, and I just want to let's connect.
Right. Well, I love that with the lungs that you see that the lungs getting filled up with smoke.
I always love that effect on like an invisible person. If you see that in a movie or something, it seemed like the most fun way to introduce Heidi.
Yeah, it's classic and super fun, dude. This is gonna be amazing. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure if you remember, I had a kid's book that was like these little monsters.
Yeah,
that was the Ghostly Manor on Howling Hill, and that one my brother wrote the whole story. It was done in rhyme, but it was specifically for Halloween. So like I had a small window after I fulfilled everyone on City of Venus. So I'm like, I'll just give it a shot because I don't want to wait another year. Let me just give it a go. So I mean, like I'm 100% into every kind of monster, every kind of thing like that. I love folklore rather, and mythology.
Yeah.
So like my mind's wrapped around all that stuff.
Oh yeah. And if you do a story with that, you have all this different stuff to draw from. It's really fun.
Oh yeah,
really easy.
Well, yeah, that's the beauty of it and the fun of it. And because I love history too. That's why like all of my taste I try to put into my projects in some level, and I don't want to put everything into one basket. So I spread it out. So that's why like my company or what I came up with was Mela Art World, because it's a world of different stuff, right? So we hit a little bit of every kind of genre. Everything I was into, like we have street stories, because me and my brother, we were fans like the Punisher and Wolverine as well, Spider-Man. Yeah. So like we have some of that stuff. Then we have the horror stuff. I'm doing some historical type things. But I think that's the beauty of it, and that's why I'm kind of spreading out all different things. I mean, I know a lot of people they're dying to get issue 2 of City of Venus. I'm going to be working on that in 2020 as well. So anyone who has it, don't feel like I forgot. I didn't. The pirate story I've been working on for a longer time than that. So that's why I'm going to gear up for after Through the Woods. It's going to be that one.
2020 is going to be amazing, dude.
Oh, dude, tell me about it.
Everyone's just locked and loaded for it. I love it, man.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm trying to get a lot of freelance jobs out of the way so I can get back to what I need to do. That's the thing, is that it's tricky because if your campaigns aren't doing like gangbusters, you still got to take that time to, get the regular paychecks going. But
trust me, I know that life, man. I'm a 9-to-5er to stay aliver. I do a lot of media work, and I do video editing, and I do film photography, video stuff, and I do social media and copywriting and stuff. So it's like, it's weird to like work at that all day and then come home and then have to promote your book and do it all, like do the same type of stuff. Like it's like I'm working all day most of the time. But you got to find time, and you got to finish your books, and you got to make it the best you can. So that's where the part of my work comes in that I just adore.
Mhm.
I can't wait to get home and write Wyatt and Heidi story versus Shinobi. The stories just came out like butter. It was so easy and smooth to write that story.
Yeah.
Cal loved everything about it. He like gave it approval and everything. He loved the
Fantastic.
way I wrote his character, which was an honor. I love Shinobi Sasquatch. He's really cool.
That's
Cool
great
character.
to hear. Hell yeah, man.
So
Oh yeah, and
fun.
going back for a second too, like Tales from the Classroom. We heard you last night when we hit it. You actually did the voiceover for it, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I didn't know if he would go for it or not, and he liked it, so awesome.
yeah, man. He was talking all the praises of you last night. So if you haven't checked it out, yeah, check out our video from well, at least
Definitely.
I know we went long yesterday, but at least in the beginning we talked a lot about these projects. So yeah,
Right
check
on.
it out. Yeah, and help out Rob because his campaign is so damn good too.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's gorgeous. The premise is amazing. So
It's the Saturday morning cartoon I wish I had as a kid.
Exactly.
Like this one would have been a perfect one.
Oh, for sure.
They did have some fun monster Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, you had real Ghostbusters, but then you had like monsters at summer camp and like all this stuff. So this kind of would fit. This fits really well with that. And I think he grew up with that type of stuff too.
Oh,
but it just looks too fun.
What was that other one? Was it Groovy Ghoulies or something?
I don't know.
There was like a group of them. There was like a Wolfman kid. They had like a dragster. I think it was like made out of like bones.
Oh, nice.
I think it was called that. The Groovy Ghoulies.
It could be. It sounds familiar.
I could be wrong. Yeah, it was like a little group of monsters as well. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I think the 80s they had like some of the most creative, cool stuff. And yeah, like you said, real Ghostbusters. Definitely, I was a big fan of that as well.
Yeah, I love his Franken coach.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. And he told us too that he's gonna get another kind of like an upgrade. And the artist Rob from Shinobi, he's working on like a brand new design. Like he's doing the boots. He said he's gonna have like steam and other mechanical parts coming out of it. So
sweet.
I'm interested to seeing what he's gonna do because the level of detail that Rob puts into his work.
Yeah. Do they let him like shoot really fast across the countryside? Like,
oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, rocket boots.
He might have went to bed early though. I think he just popped up to say hello because I didn't see him. Yeah, I haven't seen him. So,
we'll ask him. We'll ask
him next time for sure. Yeah, and definitely for his issue 2 of his book when that's ready to come out. But yeah, I'll definitely have him on again because he's just a great guy. Always have a blast.
And his I think at the very top for his trailer, that thumbnail for it is my artist, Marco.
Oh, so nice.
That's Monster MD's artist, Marco Makani. He's amazing.
Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, he
was a good choice because before Rob kind of appeared on Twitter, he would communicate with me very briefly on Instagram because he saw my book and was like, hell yeah, this is my kind of thing. So he I think he might have asked me about who my artist was, and that's where he ended up hooking up with Marco and getting a few pieces done.
That's great, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a good choice. It's a good choice for his style of book, especially.
No arguments there. Very cool. But yeah, let's if you want, we could show the video as well on yours.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, for whoever hasn't seen it.
Almost eaten by a werewolf, seduced by a succubus, a drug deal with a vampire, charades with the Slender Man. It's all in a night's work for Dr. Wyatt Black, also known as Monster MD. Hi, I'm Klaus. I recently finished work on John Malin and Mark Polton's Graveyard Shift Volume 2, and I'm here to share a comic that is going to rock the indie scene with you. Monster MD is a story about Dr. Wyatt Black, a fallen from grace surgeon who's now the underground doctor to the local monsters. Coupled with his invisible surgical assistant, Heidi, he gets into hilarious and horrific misadventures in monster mending. Dr. Black wants out of the game, though. He doesn't think he has what it takes to practice cryptocology. But when Heidi is kidnapped by his worst nightmare, the monster-killing madman that took his arm and ruined his medical career, he must depend on his paranormal patience more than he ever thought possible. Will Dr. Black be able to confront what scares him the most for the very monsters that he wants to give up on? And is Heidi hot or what under that invisibility? I've been making comics for years, guys, and it's all led up to this. My most ambitious project yet. With mind-melting art by Marco McCagney, who you may know from Zombie Tramp and Vamp Blade, colors by the incomparable Tanya Wicker, who did flawless work on The Signal, and letters by Eric the Man Weathers, letterer on Earthworm Jim. This is a high-quality indie story with heart that you do not want to miss. Not to mention, it has nearly every monster that you've ever loved from the movies. It has horror movie reference Easter eggs galore hidden throughout the book. A fully self-contained story without cliffhangers, all within 111 pages of action, comedy, horror, complex characters, and more heart than you'd expect. Even people who aren't into monsters tell me this book has everything they love in a comic. So, can I count on your help to bring this monster to life? Evil is definitely gonna need a checkup. Thanks so much for your support, guys.
All right.
Very cool.
Yeah, I remember when I made that trailer, I was going through all this intense life stuff, and I was just like, God, I'm gonna make this trailer the coolest thing ever. Like, it was tough. That was tough, man. Trying to hold back the tears as I do my trailer.
Oh, shit.
But it came out great. I mean, it came out good, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, you crushed it. Apologies too, because James said that that my audio was low on that, but
okay.
I don't know how to fix it. Was it all right for you? Did you hear it okay?
I heard it okay. I heard my voice okay. The music was a little like down, but it wasn't a big deal to me. I've heard it so many times.
Yeah, I think it could just be the StreamYard issue. I know last night we had some problems with it. It took a while to get us going, but
it's you know, I wanted that trailer to really hook the people who did watch it. And if that doesn't, I have all the sweet art up at the top where you're gonna, you know, get into it real quick and hopefully enjoy it. So
yeah, you have page after page of amazing, beautiful stuff. And then I believe one of the updates, is it still up that like they could read the first chapter?
Yes, I did release the first chapter to the public. I've retweeted that a couple times. People have given it good reviews so far, and I've heard nothing but positive. So I'm really stoked for that. That's the way you like it. There's little Heidi in a dumpster on her own. There's Heidi sleeping, and he's working with this sexy patient who wants to give him a kiss. She wants to give him a kiss, and he gives this listing of like all the things wrong with that. He's like talking about how, you know, doctor-patient relationship, or I could catch a foreign virus that my immune system can't handle. So, and then at the end, he says, just go ahead and put it on the cheek, you know.
I love it.
So, yeah, it's pretty adorable.
Great. And and this piece too, dude.
I love that.
And
Matthew Weldon and Carlo Rowe rocked the colors.
Our Irish potato.
My favorite Irish potato ever.
I love that dude.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's a friend of mine, and Matt is just, I mean, who doesn't want a Matt Weldon? You know what I mean? For your book. Like, it's like, he's like a standard. Like, you just love him.
Oh man, they both do such beautiful work. And yeah, man, I love Carl. I got to get him back on my show again. Every time we chat with him, we have a great time. Matthew, I haven't really spoken to Matthew yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And look at the combination of them. I mean, I was like, why has this combo not happened yet? Look at how well Carl worked with what Matt dished out. I mean, it's just, whew.
Yeah, I was talking to Carl a little bit when he was working on the fur on the Wolfman. So I got to see it slightly early. Shh.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
I was like, oh, dude, this is going to be sick.
Yeah, he's just great with color and light. I love what he does, man. And texture, too. He puts a lot of texture.
Oh, for sure.
And he goes that extra mile. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, this almost looks like it could be like a movie poster or something. You know, it's It's really, it really captures that Monster MD feel and style.
Absolutely, brother. I mean, I'm all about that kind of stuff too. So yeah, man, I appreciate everything he's doing. And yeah, I think Matthew is actually working now with Martina Markova on her project, that Lady Alchemy.
Nice.
I was going to be the artist on that, but I didn't realize how many pages that she needed. She basically needs the entire book done. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. I literally,
that's huge.
Yeah, I thought it was like a couple of pages or a tiny little story in there, but she's like, no, I need 40 pages. I'm like, ooh, nope, sorry.
Yeah, it's not going to work for everybody, but yeah, she got Matt, and Matt is going to kill that book.
Oh, hell yes. Yeah, he's gonna crush it. I'm looking forward to that too. Like, I'm sure her numbers will shoot up as well. So, yeah, because I remember her artist screwed her bad.
Yeah, that sucks, man. As someone who's been screwed by an artist once or twice in my day. Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, trust me. I know how it goes too with a lot of like certain creative people. It's and then these people who are still kind of in the business. Yeah, they're very strange, and I don't like how unprofessional they are. So it's hard to weed people out, you know. I'm sorry, you were saying?
I've also been on the other end of that, where you're the artist and you did the work, and they won't pay you too. So I mean, you could swings both ways, sadly, man.
Yeah,
client can screw you over.
Oh, for sure. That's the world we're in, right?
Yep. Sadly, yeah. But yeah, it's been I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's my passion project right now, and I think people are going to really love it and want more, and there's going to be more. There's going to be Monster MD book 2.
Beautiful.
I have some ideas floating around, but I also like the idea of doing a nice big Monster MD versus Shino story and maybe crowdfunding that so that people can get a nice full amazing version of that story. So we'll see where Marco's at. And I want to work with Marco on my new project for 2020 too. So we've got a lot of awesome things ahead, man.
Yeah, man. And don't forget to hit me up. I'm willing to do a pinup cover, whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, dude, trust me. I think of you every time. I'm like, oh, we're going to get hit. Like, you're on the list. Let's put it that way.
Fantastic. Yeah, man. It's like you said, man, 2020 is going to be a fun ride, I think, for everybody. But yeah, there's a few other projects too that are going on, and I want to give a shout out to. If the guys were around, I was gonna get them on as well. But I know during the holidays it's not always easy to jump on streams. But like I wanted to show RT Bear's books. I'm hopefully gonna get him on soon because he said he'd love to come on.
It's okay though, because I did his trailer for him. I edited this trailer, so.
Oh, yeah?
I can help talk a little, maybe. I'm sure he'd be cool with that. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm going to give him a proper time anyway, but I just want to showcase just like a quick little rundown of a few things.
Yeah.
We could hit the video for sure. If you want to give a little bit of a pitch, you can too. But let's do movie time first. Hopefully the audio is better on this.
Hi all, I'm RT Bear, and I'm a comic book artist. During my 35-year career, I have worked on many comic titles for DC, Marvel, and Image Comics, such as Adventures of Superman, Ultimate Spider-Man, X-Men, Cable, Spawn, Youngblood, Super Sons, and others too numerous to mention. Now, I'm rocking the indie scene, and that all began with my graphic novel, Black and White, and thanks to people like you, we made that campaign a huge success. Now, I'm hoping that together we can do it again as I switch creative gears to offer you something new and exciting with a style created just for this Chrono Mechanics title. At this point, you may be saying, sounds good, but what is Chrono Mechanics about? Well, I'm glad you asked. This wildly funny sci-fi action-adventure graphic novel focuses on the best repair team to ever turn a wrench. I'm talking about Team 9.2 of Sector 7. Chrono Mechanics is about the brave, knuckle-busting son-of-a-gun repairman who fixed the big machine known as time. And yes, when I say machine, you heard right. What keeps our time running smoothly is an ancient nuts-and-bolts cosmic clockwork machine that is as huge as the galaxy itself. So join Oot, a prehistoric businessman with anger issues. Carpaccio, frustrated Renaissance artist and inventor. Zin, a child deity with the power of the gem. And a potential new recruit, Doug, a 70s rock god and slacker with crazy dumb luck. As they don their work suits and power up to repair a rip in time, will our slacker step up to become a chrono mechanic and take his place as the fourth member of Team 9.2 of Sector 7? Chrono mechanics, they do more before the dawn of time than most people do all day.
Yeah.
That you will have so much fun reading about the crazy repair misadventures of Team 9.2 as we did making it. So please support this campaign and then spread the word. Thank you. You are awesome.
Dude, that was great. This book looks so much fun.
Yeah, it's so fun, man. They turn into these kind of super versions of themselves. You can still tell it's them, though, from the character design work. And he developed this blue collar story that meets big adventure, which I just love stuff like that. And the style of art for this book that he developed is pretty incredible. It's kind of a testament to his experience as an artist, and it's just great stuff.
Yeah, man, it's fantastic. He's a great guy too. Like I said, I'm looking forward to chatting with him. I think we've run in the same circles here and there too.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. This is very cool.
Narwhal's coloring it. Narwhal's an incredible upcoming talent. You know.
Oh, wow, I didn't know he was coloring on.
This is cool. Narwhal colors, man.
Beautiful. Yeah, he's a great guy. We chatted with him a few times. I do a lot of drawing streams with him over at War Campaign. Yeah,
that's
dude.
Fun.
Yeah, he's very cool. It's always fun. But yeah, dude, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got another one on the list.
Yep. This has been a pretty good one. This is pretty cool. I really like the concept here. I think I backed this one right away. But then I don't know if he asked me. Yeah, I think he asked me to do the trailer, and I still was like, I'm still backing this. I don't expect you to give me a copy. Like he paid me for the trailer work, and we made it. You know, we made a pretty cool little promo for it. I think this book has a lot of potential to go places. You know, in terms of like an animated series or a movie or whatever. So,
hell yeah,
beautiful, man.
Yeah, man, this IP looks really great. I love it.
I kind of liked the idea that they are kind of themselves sometimes, and other times they turn into these super blue collar badasses. Turn into the chrono mechanics. It's fun.
Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of one of the first times I'm getting like a proper look at it too. So, yeah, man. It deserves to keep doing better and better. That's for sure. Dude, yeah, his work is so much fun.
Yeah.
And I like that he
Love
changed
his art
style too. Yeah. From his other projects too. I think that's the beauty of it. Having that kind of fun with all different projects, because I try to change my style up too. Like the kid book one, I did it in a Disney style. You know, I want some that are hyper realistic, some is a little more comic book traditional.
Yeah, man, definitely cool challenge to do that. You know, that's cool, Caravaggio.
Yeah, man, totally. Yeah, he's got great artists doing pieces for him too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely a project to back. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's the whole story in one or just the beginning. I can't remember, but it's got that comedy meets time travel adventure thing, like Back to the Future meets like blue collar workers.
Yeah, I think I saw it was Ted. Yeah, like 48 pages. Oh yeah, totally Bill and Ted. Yeah.
Just like, I mean, because I think they do warp through time a few times into different places too. So it's a huge epic story. You know what I mean? Like it has this backstory that's really cool, where the people who built the machine that is time. You know, I don't know if they show this in this or just mention it, but I've heard Art talk about the kind of the founders of the time machine that runs everything. It's really interesting stuff.
Oh, very cool, man. Yeah.
Deep lore. Some deep lore, baby.
Art, if you're listening on a replay, whatever, again, yeah, we're gonna get you on. We're gonna chat more about it. Because yeah, this
Hell
project
yeah.
was really, really good. So yeah, people, you guys watching, back Monster MD. There's a few of them. Through the Woods is coming. City of Venus. That's my campaign right now. It's still active. It's in demand. I'm not sure if I'm going to
Nice.
close this out. Either when I launch Through the Woods or when I start the fulfillment process on Through the Woods. So yeah, this one isn't going to be staying around forever. So if you guys do want to back it, please jump on it. Again, this is the start of something very big. Again, full of action, hot chicks. If you like futuristic tales, this book is going places, and the main character, once you start to find out more about her backstory, I think you guys will really dig it. Because I play with a few really big surprises and elements with her and how she got there, and just
I could see her backstory in that image. It's a very beautiful backstory. I just love the way you draw women, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I love the curvy, backgrounds.
Real deal women. Oh yeah, curvy backgrounds. There you go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I have a couple. Let's see. Yeah, on my last tier, I only have 2 of those left. So that's both art books and City of Venus, plus the head sketch. And this is the quality of sketch you get. So it's like a very detailed drawing. It's not a loose kind of crappy one. You get a fantastic, beautiful piece of artwork. So, but for those who already have the the volume 1 art book, and they just want volume 2, that's exclusive to this campaign. You could still get that with City of Venus and a head sketch for $120. Just so you people know. Yeah, there's about 15 of those left. And then I have the other versions. And if you don't want the sketch, you just want the 2 books. That's the featured tier. So yeah, please continue to support this project. I got a lot more beautiful artwork coming. I don't kind of mean to jump around too much, but I know we've been chatting for a little while already.
No worries, man. This reminds me of a really cool video game in the making too, because they've got that apocalypse feel meets, still like sexy and tough feel. It's it's cool. Yeah,
man, and that's the thing too. It's very bleak because there isn't a ton of survivors, and the people who are alive, they're hidden underground completely. So like the world that's destroyed and void of technology and power, just like the failed experiments of the people in the floating city, they kind of like they throw these people back down, right? Because their thing was they want to prolong their lives, they want to live forever. So if they find people, they experiment on them, and it doesn't always work out. So they toss them back down in this world, and that's why we have some people looking like zombies. There's going to be different factions and groups of them as well. So you'll see, since they've been doing it for so many years, they definitely experimented in all different ways. And you guys you'll be seeing some of those. I have one group that's so dangerous that even when they put them back down, they're quarantined in a certain part of the city. So like there's going to be some very cool things happening. But yeah, man, trust me. When I start talking about it, I want to get more into it, but I still don't want to give spoilers. And right now I'm in pirate mode, so I don't want to go too far into this one yet.
Yeah,
because I know
what that's like, man. You shift modes, and you got to give your love to what you're on. You shouldn't don't want to dilute it too much. You got to be focused.
For sure, man. But yeah, so we have great projects, we have great stories, and it's just going to keep getting better and better. Especially if you guys love action, story. I think Comicsgate is where it's at right now. We got some of the best projects, some of the coolest stuff. This is some of the artwork that's going to be it's in the volume 2 art book. So I have some familiar faces, pinups, mythology, creatures and characters. Some of your favorite video games. Oh yeah,
that's cool.
I got a ton of stuff, and hot chicks. You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong, guys. The beauty's right here.
Right.
It's beautiful.
just when you thought you knew Alice's backstory, here's another version of the backstory.
That's a beautiful backstory you made there.
Oh man, yeah. So
it's true. I can't believe that guy's letting all the water out looking at it. That's a lot of drool. That's just a lot of drool coming out.
It's funny. I had like a series of these Alice pieces. I was doing like one every couple of months. Like I had the before version of this as well, where she like, where she bites the mushroom and then, she shrinks and all that. So it was kind of like the idea of how she got on the other side, because I already know she cried and that's all the water is her tears. So she got on the other side, but her dress was soaked, so she had to take it off to dry it, right? So it's hanging out of the bottle.
Hypothermia is not your friend, whether you're in Wonderland or not. Yeah.
Right. You got to put logic to things.
Yeah, that's right. Alice, you did the right move, you survivor.
Yeah, she's great. But
you did her a little more brunette, and usually we've seen her as a blonde too, so that's interesting.
Yeah. I went with the original kind of way of the character, her depiction. It was the Disney version that turned her into a blonde.
That changed her, right? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which, you went back to the Ridge. I like it.
Yeah, which I think I've done a version of the cover actually, where I had her with the blonde hair and the blue dress. I don't remember if I put it in the book or not. If I put it in this one, I got to take out a copy and flip through it. But again, I've been running on very little sleep for months and months and months now.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't die.
Try not to. We're trying not to die. We need to get our sleep when we can. But yeah. So again, lots of great stuff happening. Lots of cool projects. I think I'm going to be getting on these guys soon as well. For Black Tiger. I believe coming in the next week, I'll have the creative guys on from this project on. So keep an eye out for that.
Sweet little kung fu book.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Sci-fi. Oh, that's cool.
Sure, yeah, I'm looking forward to chatting with them and hearing how they came up with this story and everything. So that should be great.
I love kung fu stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was like a huge Bruce Lee fan as well. So, but yeah, definitely help these guys out. They have 6 days left. So yeah, keep an eye out. So in a couple of days, I'll be having them on my channel as well. Let me see. Oh, I do have another big guest coming on in January. Since people did like when Serena Vincent came on, my other actor friend, she was in Cabin Fever and all that. She was on a couple of streams ago. So what was it, like 2 weeks ago? Take a look at that if you haven't seen it. She's awesome, gorgeous woman, great actress. Yeah, I'm doing some stuff with her too. It's not comic book related, but we vaguely talk about it in there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's very cool, and she's into the horror stuff as well, because obviously she's worked on a bunch of films and stuff like that. She did the short webisodes for Walking Dead. Nice. She's friends with Greg Nicotero and Eli Roth. And yeah, she travels in very cool circles. Wow. Yeah, she used to be a Power Ranger. She was like the Yellow Ranger in one of these seasons. I wasn't a Power Rangers fan because I was too old when that came about.
Me too.
Yeah. So, but
whatever.
Yeah. When I met her and we kind of hit it off at a show. She's just a great person all around. So definitely check out that conversation. And yeah, in January I got another big guest who was in major blockbuster movies. He did some television work as well. A couple of really big series. So I'm hinting at it now. I don't want to say who it is yet, but when he does come on, this guy he's a pisser. He's funny. He's super talented. And yeah, I'm looking forward to telling the first time I met him, we had a funny story with that as well. But
not bad, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring something a little bit different, right? So yeah, I've done all these conventions. I've run into a lot of different people over the years, and some of the places I've worked. So if I could bring some special guests on every now and then, I will. But yeah, I'm all about showcasing creators. their projects. I think we're all in it in the same, we're doing the same thing. So, and the fans, the support has been fantastic. People like James Hayes, this guy's always doing an amazing job dropping links. We have other great creators like Brian Christgau. He's got his 6-gun Gorilla. You guys definitely have to check that out. He's a great dude. I had him on. We'll get him on again.
Nice.
Yeah. He's very cool. And if anyone else is listening, Ethan, if you're listening, get Brian on. He's a very cool guy. You'll definitely have a great conversation with him.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds awesome, man. It's I think the key to us being successful is not just all the hard work and helping each other. I think if we want to make a lasting impact, we need stories and heroes people care about. It can't just be like, oh, that was neat, whatever, and then moving on. We need those heartfelt, hard-hitting stories that, like, even the most obtuse, angry people who hate us just can't deny that it's damn good. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man. Oh, totally.
When I was in film school, man, like, I was informed on my first day of class that our school got 0 movies into any of the festivals, even though technically all of them were gorgeous, like beautiful cinematography, awesome costume, great lighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was technically proficient, but we couldn't tell a story worth a damn. And that kept us from achieving greatness. And I think, in this situation with Comicsgate, what we're doing, it could be the same. So I just hope everyone keeps focused on good story and asks for advice on story. I started to have some people in our group come to me and ask for editing and stuff, but not just editing in terms of normal editing, but like story consultation.
Right.
So it's always good to ask other creators that you think know their stuff and know their story. Does this work? Does this not work? You know what I mean? Like, really refine that, because if you can move people emotionally with your story, I mean, you're going to have them for life as customers, as fans, whatever. And it's going to make a more lasting impact than just pretty drawings, even though the drawing, I think I'm happy that we've got that part so well covered, because there's so many talented, amazing artists.
Absolutely.
Like, we already got that. Now let's get the other half of the equation and make sure our stories just resonate.
Yeah, that's definitely, I'm all about that as well. Since and a lot of people ask me too, or they say, Vinny, man, you're super humble about your work. I've had other friends saying, dude, like, you don't understand how good you are. And I'll never go into that spot where I'm like, oh, I'm all ego. That's not me. I'm super humble because I look at myself as a storyteller first. What I could do on the page, or and my painting on on the computer, it's a skill I've developed over the years. But my main thing was to tell stories. Like, a couple of times, I almost got those jobs at Marvel and DC. Again, fucked out of it because of just shitty people that were there. But it was about what I was doing. I was able to tell a proper story. I was able to get the beats right. And a lot of times it is tricky. So even like when I find other creators, I try to give them some advice here and there, or I'll point them in the right direction. If I do notice that they are very skittish about certain things, because there's an artist who he was doing storyboard work for DreamWorks. He came out with a book called Framed Ink. Anyone who's listening, you got to check that out. I believe it's on Amazon still. He did a couple of different books, but he breaks down like the shots, why they would be used. Because you have to, for me personally, you have to think about everything you're doing like it is a movie. You want to have those story elements. You want to have the proper beats, and the same thing happens with the artwork too. You want to have specific shots, like why they're in there. And he breaks down too, like the lenses, why certain lenses are used, like a long shot, versus a close up or a tight one. And it's very useful and very helpful. And not just artists. I think writers should also read it and check it out. Because it's also, I think, a good like language barrier if you are butting heads with your creative other half. So because like my background too, it's not just doing concept artwork and stuff. I was doing storyboards as well for different projects in film and TV. So I kind of know. I think I know how to tell a story. That's the one thing I'm pretty confident about, and I enjoy telling stories. So
keep it up, man, because it's coming out great, and
thank you, man.
it's as long as you have such a good attitude too, you're always going to be open to learning new things, and that'll just make you better. So good job.
Yeah,
It's good to not get too cocky with it,
Right. I think all artists, creators, we got to keep that open mind. We always have to be learning, because I'm self-taught. I didn't go to school for any of this.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So I've been just hustling and busting my ass from day one. Right out of high school. That's when I started working for McFarlane.
So cool. So
dude,
cool.
Yeah, it was a trip. I'll tell you that, man.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I know I've talked about it on a bunch of other streams, but it definitely felt like a Mr. Rogers field trip that kind of went bad.
Nice. Even more fun.
Yeah,
I would expect nothing less of the Todd father.
it was crazy. Well, Todd was always cool. It's the guys he had running the show at his
Or kind of wild.
well, no, at his design place. Yeah, it's these two brothers that no one has any respect for them. They were just kind of scum. Yeah.
Oh, they were scummy.
Yeah, but
shit.
My encounters I had with Todd were always either funny or just like a good experience. So, still giving props to Todd all the time. Even when I met him a few years later, he knew exactly who I was. And we didn't really chat that much because he used to. This was back in the day, like the webcams weren't as good as they are and stuff, and he had a really bad setup. But like we come in, we give him like kind of like the pitch of what we have. What he was looking for. He didn't really take names and numbers. It was basically like, I like this, I like that, or no, I've changed this, or blah, blah, blah. So like, I didn't think he knew too many of the people working for him, but he knew me by name, and he's like, Vinny, how you been? Threw his arm around me.
That's
very
great.
cool. Yeah, he was a very cool guy. So definitely props to Todd. But all right. I think we had a fun little chat. I don't know how you are on time, but we could cut it short if you'd like. How long?
Man, whatever you want to do, hosty with the mosty, man. I'm just enjoying hearing your stories and talking to you about all this stuff. It's fun.
Well, dude, man. I mean, like I said, we have similar tastes, so I was always happy to talk with you when we were on other streams and stuff too. So I am glad you came on here.
Man, me too.
Yeah, man. And like I said, like even like we were talking earlier before we went on about video games and stuff. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. The remake was something I was super thrilled about. Vaughn and I we were talking about that they're doing the third game too. So I think we're both stoked on that, man. Nemesis he was the shit back in the day.
Yeah, and they did such good, big, amazing things with that Part 2 remake that I just can't wait to see what they do with Nemesis.
Oh my god. It felt like you were completely pulled into a horror movie.
In fact, what is it, Mr. X or whoever chases you in the remake of 2?
Yeah.
Like that's totally Nemesis. I mean, that was them going, "We wish Nemesis was in this game." You know what I mean? Like, it was awesome.
He walked fast. Now we're gonna have Nemesis who's literally doing a sprint at us and busting through walls. So dude, I can't wait. And I hope they handle his transformations in a very good way too. Because I remember like when the jacket came off and he had all those like tendrils hanging off of him, dude, that guy was so menacing looking.
Good stuff. They do it right, man, and they know what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Resident Evil 7, even though it was first person and it was kind of brought to like this dark, gritty, like Southern Americana feel. It was such a good one. I loved that game. I think it influenced how they approach things on these remakes in a cool way, like that, just that right level of grit and detail, that atmosphere, Yeah,
I know they used the same engine for 7 that they did for the remake. So that's why I think that's why I think we got all that cool like atmosphere and the level of detail. But then they put it back in the third person, which I was very happy about because I can't do first person gaming. It's since I was young, it was like I was getting nauseous just seeing a hand on screen. And I'm like a purist though. Like a lot of people are purists with Star Wars. I'm a purist with Resident Evil. I didn't think 7 was a Resident Evil game. From what I saw of it, I think it was a very cool, dark, twisted tale. But I don't see that as Resident Evil on any level.
Yeah, it definitely broke its own rules, which was it. At first I thought, yeah, that's going to be bad. Like that's not cool at all. And then I think I ended up I ended up getting that game much later after seeing other people play it online, and I felt like, this isn't Resident Evil as I know it, but maybe I kind of can appreciate that they're doing something different and still kind of achieving something about the things about Resident Evil that I love. So I played through it. I gave it the old college try. I played through, and damn, dude, like really good game. And it did feel like a Resident Evil game. It really did feel like one, but it was different. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It really, it really was.
Yeah, no, I respect what they were trying to do for sure. And like I said, from what I understand, a lot of people loved it, and what I saw out of it, I could definitely appreciate it. But to me, it's not Resident Evil. I didn't even think there was one zombie in it. It was just the hillbilly family and stuff like that.
There were these like mold spore monster things.
Yeah.
Show up that get kind of nasty and come out of this black mold. It was kind of awesome. But yeah, it wasn't your typical zombie fare. It was this family that used to be normal enough, just rednecky. Mm-hmm. And then you blow their heads off and they regenerate from the virus.
And I saw a good number of I've seen a good number of clips from that.
And it was kind of, what was really creepy about it was you have to run from these rednecks and the house, and you're hiding under tables, and like you hear them in the other room, like, I'm coming to get you, boy. I'm gonna get you, boy. And it's like Deliverance, like Resident Evil. It was creepy as hell, man.
Yeah,
it was so creepy.
I think stuff like that too, man. That definitely, yeah. With horror, you need to have those kind of things in there. It helps the story. It helps the experience for sure. Like I said,
it was awesome.
Yeah, it was last year around this time when Resident Evil 2 came out. I was over the moon with that effing thing, man. I was, I'm playing this, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know where they were going to go with it. But yeah, they gave us the beats we wanted and needed. They put extra surprises, but I was so down for the horror in that game and the gore. Holy crap! The first time you found the cop who was attacked by a licker, and that whole head jaw thing with, oh man, that was nasty. I loved it.
Yeah, man, they really looked at it like an opportunity to revamp everything that you've ever wanted out of Resident Evil 2, to go to the next level with it. I mean, I love those windows where they would break and rain would pour through from the wind blowing it in, and you would and sometimes zombies would climb through and you try to board them up, and they did a great job of that. You know what was great about it? It was like a return to George Romero zombie flicks in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
So perfect.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing, man. I think all this stuff, movies, games, comics, it all plays hand in hand in the creative process and the storytelling, and everyone's always trying to raise that bar. So, I mean, for what we're doing and what excites us, I think we're giving that back to fans for sure. And at least I know between us, but that's definitely our goal.
It is, man. That's our style, man. And that's part of the fun is like you get some of those people in Comicsgate that are more superhero and more classic, which is totally cool. And then you get, the kind of grimy, gritty guys like us who like our horror. We like our comedy. We like our weird sci-fi stuff. So it's a great mix we got going on with all these different IPs floating around and offering all these different things for people. It's been fun, man.
Absolutely, man. It's been a blast, and we're gonna keep raising that bar. We're gonna keep surprising people, and we're gonna be telling great stories.
Eric makes a good point there. Yeah, that's true. Like they captured what was in our heads. That's right.
For sure, yeah. And the original, when you look back before that even came out, you're like, I remember how exciting it was and how scary it was. And then if you look at that original gameplay and compare it to what they did, dude, it's like night and day.
It really is, but they did it right still for the fans. They had the right feel.
Oh yeah, but see,
because and the zombies are kicking down doors in this one too. You know, that's never happened. Usually in the Resident Evil, there was this comfort that came when you like got through the door.
yeah.
You know, that's all gone.
Oh yeah, oh dude. Well, I'm gonna take it back to the original remake that they did of Resident Evil 1.
GameCube.
Yeah, on GameCube. That thing to me was mind blowing because of that atmosphere, the surprises, the zombies that they mutated again. They became like these Crimson Heads, as they called them, and they were like I think the first ones who actually broke down doors and chased you. That was some cool stuff. And then the really twisted element of there was that girl Lisa. She was like this monster that was roaming the grounds, and like you don't know how she was getting around. Then you find like her underground cavern and that whole sick twisted tale. That to me was such an awesome element that they threw into the game. That again, it was not anywhere near the original, but yeah, it rose the bar. And for them to be doing these remakes now, I'm super happy. So it's like we'll have 1 through 3 all, kick ass and super scary the way that they're meant to be.
Yeah. Will they remake 4? Will they remake 4? You think? That was a big one.
I don't know because that's when they changed the mechanics altogether, right?
Right.
And I know they remastered it.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, they remastered it and they put it, I think, on PS4.
Thinking about getting that. Because it looks that I loved 4. 4 was a special one too.
Yeah. On in the European adventure.
Yes. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was nuts, man. And those killer monks.
Oh god, that scared the hell out of me. I love playing through that though.
Yeah, dude, the maze. You remember the maze in the garden?
Yeah.
With like werewolf creature things.
Just awesome game. Like you instead of zombies, you hear this like chanting and it's like a nightmare, man.
Yeah, man. It worked. And it was like fast paced too. There were moments where they just wanted to hustle you through certain sections. Like you couldn't take your time like you did in other previous games, which I loved. But I'm gonna say, like in the remake, anyone who's listening don't know, I'm like a dead ringer for the Chris Redfield in the remake game. When it came out, my hairline was closer to his. And dude, I walked to a GameStop. They're like, "Oh my god, you're the guy in the game, aren't you?" I'm like, I played it up. I'm like, "Yeah, can I get that cut out?"
Yeah, so you're not going to charge me for this. I mean, I'm in the game, right?
Dude, man. Yeah, no, they have like the life-size cutout of them.
That's awesome.
Dude, yeah. I did get my hands on it. It got damaged in one of my moves, though. But, yeah, no, dude. Yeah, again, like, I've been a diehard, like, all my life on that stuff. So, yeah, give me horror all day long. Yeah, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, no doubt, man. What did I get recently? So I haven't played it yet, but I got World War Z, and that just looks like zombie blowing up madness, and I can't wait to try that one out. And I got what is it? Like the Warhammer game where it's like first person Warhammer and you're beating the hell out of rat people the whole time.
Oh man, I haven't seen that.
Man, like just a huge hammer, like rah, like smashing rat people and blood flying everywhere and heads flying. It just looks awesome. So it's Vermintide. I got Vermintide 2. These were like bargain bin games at Target. So I was just like, dude, it's Christmas. Let's treat myself a little bit.
Brother, so. I did the same thing. I found I guess the newest Devil May Cry for like
that's a good one.
Like $20. Haven't played it yet. Have no idea what it was about. I played like all of them except for that one. And I picked up the Shadows of War, the Lord of the Rings one. That looks pretty insane. There's a character. It looks like he gets possessed by one of like those ghost kings, and like apparently it looks like you can control an army and do all sorts of crazy shit because you got like this ghost who's helping you, But dude, the combat looks amazing in it. Like I saw some of the footage. I'm like, I'm eventually gonna get this game. I'm like, shit, bargain bin, perfect score.
Perfect, dude. Maybe I should go look for that one. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, man. Let me see. Yeah, it's Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
I played through the first one, right?
Oh, okay.
Is it?
How'd you like it?
Well, that one was what? Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah, yeah.
Or was it? I loved that game. I
Oh.
freaking played the hell out of it and like maxed out every I tried to do everything there is to do,
Oh, wow. Okay.
all the bonusy things. So yeah, it's how I like to play, man. I think I did a pretty good job, like maxing my dude out, and then gets kind of, even though it's open world, you get kind of bored and you move on.
Oh, all right. I got you. Yeah, because I guess I missed the first one. I didn't know that there was one before this. So, all right, cool. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah,
But
man.
this one, yeah, I'm very interested in this. Eventually, I don't know when I'm going to make time, but even if I do like a half hour here and there,
Yeah.
I know I'll be up like at 4 a.m. I got to kill some more of these things.
Yep. That's the way it goes, man. I should play some more too before I go back to work soon.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll end this
But I'm
soon,
trying to get this comic book done, man. I'm trying to write my next big project. I'm on page 122 and I have to finish up the third act. So I've got a lot to write.
Trust me, I've been wanting to take a little time off to crack these things open, but I keep going back to what I'm doing as well because I want to get more of these books done. The experience we're getting with these games and movies and shit, I want people to have what we're accomplishing and getting out there. So
yeah, definitely. Good call.
Because
that's what's gonna matter. That's what matters.
Oh, for sure, man. But yeah, last thing. If you haven't yet, check out that last God of War game, dude. That was epic. That
everybody loves it. Oh, it looks so cool.
I played the shit out of that one, man. Yeah, if you love that brutal kind of Conan the Barbarian shit,
yep.
Yeah, because they took him to a new place, putting him into like the Norse mythology now, and that he kind of like ran away from his. I thought that was such an interesting and crazy take, but it worked. And the cinematic, like the storytelling that they do in there, is breathtaking. So yeah, dude, guys, check that out too.
Gotta get.
Make sure you back these projects first.
Yep.
Monster MD. We have Tales from the Classroom with our awesome buddy Rob. Yeah, man, we got a bunch of projects. City of Venus, Through the Woods is coming, so sign up. Yeah. Oh, quick question: have you done a pre-launch on yours before you released it?
Yeah, there was a Monster MD pre-launch page, and I was gathering. I gathered people for a mailing list for sure.
Okay. Oh, because that's what I was going to ask you. Did they get notified automatically when it goes live, or you have to download the list and then hit them up?
Oh, I think they get notified automatically, but I don't recall. I think it makes sense that they would get notified automatically. But I also had everyone on a mailing list and I used MailChimp to send out the notification that we were up, we went live. So that's just how I did it. And so I got my mailing list from Indiegogo and then I put that information into MailChimp and sent it all out. So that's how
yeah, I took a look at their site. It looked like Chinese to me.
It might to some people at first, but then once you get more into it, it becomes more simplified. It does seem like, because I had never done anything like that too, with like compiling the list and putting it in a certain file format and then turning it into a mailing list, But it became kind of explanatory the more I messed with it, got into it. There was a learning curve.
All right, yeah, I'll have to take a look at that and figure it out.
Yeah.
But all right, very cool. So guys, thanks everyone who dropped in. Matthew, Brian, James, Blue, Eric. Sorry you couldn't make it in here, but we're gonna get you in another time anyway. I want to definitely showcase like your upcoming projects as well. Because it's gonna be good. We got a lot of cool stuff in store, a lot of fun. Everybody, I hope you guys had a great Christmas and Hanukkah, whatever you celebrated, and going into the new year. I hope it's going to be great for everyone as well. So,
hell yeah, man! Happy New Year to you, Vinny, and thanks for having me on, man.
Happy New Year, brother. Thank you again for dropping in. And everybody, remember, be good to one another and keep creating. Take care.